Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. A new Avengers Doomsday promo has leaked with first looks at Doctor Doom, the TVA, a bunch of the characters, so we'll break it all down. Probably the biggest things here are confirmations on what Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is going to look like, as well as what all the X-Men comic book accurate suits are going to look like that we didn't see in the previous 4 teaser trailers that they've already released publicly. Most of the characters that are in this were from Chairwatch, with a couple of exceptions. Like, we knew Franklin Richards was in the movie, but he wasn't in that original Chairwatch. We know there's going to be Spider-Man in the movie, but we don't know which version of Spider-Man it's going to be. Steve Rogers, who we now know confirmed is in the movie, was not in Chairwatch. Deadpool and Wolverine also weren't part of Chairwatch, even though they're in the movie. There's meant to be a different version of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the movie, but they weren't part of Chairwatch. All the TVA characters that are going to be in the movie that are featured here. Just because there's a lot of stuff going on here, we'll just start at the beginning with all the different promo and artwork and just break it down as we go through the actual video. Most of all the clothing here are based on Doctor Doom designs and Doctor Doom puns. Just starting on the left side and working our way across, it starts with a hat that reads Doom Squad and is a picture of Doctor Doom's head with his mask on, wearing the same yellow hat on his head. Then the bright hoodie right behind it has a logo of a storm cloud and lightning in front of a rainbow, which seems like more of a Thor Rainbow Bridge Bifrost reference. Directly to the right of it, the blue hoodie says DJ Doom and has what looks like a chicken wearing a Doctor Doom suit, a cape with a metal beak and helmet behind DJ turntables. There are way more Easter eggs and references on the shirts below it. The first one reads Doomsday Diaries, and it's made to look like a child's handwriting on actual paper with all the names of the characters that they announced publicly so far, either during Chairwatch or that we knew confirmed were in the movie so far. Right next to it is Doctor Doom in his suit wearing a bathrobe on top of it, reading his phone with the caption, Doom Scroll. Robert Downey Jr. was actually wearing this particular shirt during a recent Q&A panel that he did with Timothée Chalamet, where he announced the press tour and made all kinds of jokes about Avengers Doomsday being up against Dune 3 in theaters this Christmas and how they were calling it Doomsday behind the scenes, just like people in real life. Regular fans actually coined that term before the actors started calling it Doomsday as well, too. So, they just started also calling it Doomsday, just to replicate the Barbenheimer energy, which Robert Downey Jr. also in that movie in Oppenheimer.
You go for it. We're thinking Doomsday. You like it? All right. We'll see if we're still friends by then.
I would not be surprised if we get a little bit closer to the movies coming out and then Dune 3 announces that it's moving to 2027 because it doesn't want to go up and compete against Avengers Doomsday. Right next to it is Doctor Doom in a beach chair saying Surf's Up subjects next to Point Doom, which is meant to be a Thor Point Break reference. Nice little deep cut pull from the original Avengers movie. Then the next one has a bunch of Doctor Doom variants with different quotes, and the 2 at the top are kind of covered up here, but starting towards the top, the visible ones are unhinged, sad, lonely, relaxed, constipated, overwhelmed, and blah. And the joke here is that he has the exact same face in each one, like he looks the same no matter what his emotions are. He's just wearing different color cloaks. This also might be sly confirmation about the theory that we'll see Doctor Doom variants from the multiverse somewhere in the movie, because they are adapting a version of Time Runs Out, and during that story, Doctor Doom does go around the multiverse killing a whole bunch of variants of both himself as well as Molecule Man. Right above it, there's a more traditional Avengers Doomsday hat in a regular black bag with the simplified Doomsday logo next to it. Then there's much bigger Easter eggs for Fantastic Four specific merch and TVA merch with some more looks at Doctor Doom's mask and the big comic book cover with all the characters. Like, vastly better look at what all the characters are going to look like in the movie, including all the ones that we didn't see in the 4 teaser trailers that they released a couple weeks ago. Zoom and enhance on the TVA pin here. This has the Marvel Studios logo on top of it in the middle, obviously, but around the edges, it actually reads, Protecting the Multiverse, Security, Content Protection, and Facilities. It is weird to see content protection written on there, like they consider all the different universes of the multiverse to be content. We're protecting the content of the multiverse. We actually did see some footage of them filming scenes for the movie at the TVA last year. I think this is going to be part of Loki's plot in the movie, just because he's so connected to those characters. Then probably the most important part from all these leaks, confirmation about what all the characters are going to look like in their suits. We got a version of this that leaked out a while ago from a pin, but it was way blurrier. This is a much better look at what all their suits are going to look like. The actual issue here in context is probably just a prequel story that they do for every big Marvel movie and Avengers movie, just to introduce new fans to the characters and set up what's going on at the very beginning of the story. But it usually it's not meant to be critical reading, like you don't lose anything from the movie if you don't read it, and you can get all the necessary information that you might want from it from like a couple tweets or from the wiki. Just starting with all the Easter eggs up at the top here. So if you couldn't read the top here, it reads 20 cents and the published date is December 18th because that's when the movie is actually coming out. It's a reference to December 18th, 2026. The entire Doomsday clock counts down to this date. Most of you have probably since seen that when Marvel dropped the Avengers Doomsday Fantastic Four Black Panther teaser trailer a little while ago, at the end of that, they started a live stream on their YouTube channel that's continually counting down the Doomsday clock until the movie premieres in theaters. When it hits 0 is the actual premiere date for like the first screenings of the movie that you can go see. This is probably some kind of record for longest live stream on YouTube so far, if you don't count the lo-fi channels. Technically, it's not a traditional type of live stream because it's not an actual host that's speaking to an audience or playing games or doing something like doing a traditional type of video live stream. As you can see, all the characters on the front are most of the ones, not every single one, but most of the ones that they publicly announced or were during Chair Watch, the exception being Steve Rogers. There are a couple other characters that we know are going to be in the movie, though. But starting up at the top here, next big Easter egg is Kevin Feige and both of the Russo brothers. Notice Kevin Feige also has blonde hair, too. They've also given Joe Russo a bit more of a Doctor Strange type of haircut here, too. And yes, Doctor Strange is meant to be in the movie. He's one of the other characters that weren't in the 4 teaser trailers, but they didn't also announce during Chair Watch. But he will be in the film. Some of these costumes we've either seen before in the post-credit scenes in the recent movies or in the recent teaser trailers. For instance, M'Baku and Ben Grimm we both saw in the Fantastic Four Black Panther Avengers Doomsday trailer, but we hadn't seen a version of Beast since the Marvel's post-credit scene. Even though the artwork here is a little questionable, this is meant to be his version of Beast, Kelsey Grammer's version from the Marvel's post-credit scene. Personally, I think this confirms that the X-Men that we did see during the X-Men Avengers Doomsday trailer are also from that same universe that Monica Rambeau wound up in at the end of the Marvel's movie. Right next to him, one of the brand new characters that we haven't seen costumes for yet is Nightcrawler. This is meant to be the same Nightcrawler from the original X-Men movies. Cannot wait to see them use modern special effects to make his powers seem even cooler. John Walker, U.S. Agent, and Red Guardian wearing their same suits that we saw at the end of the new Avengers post-credit scene from the Thunderbolts movie. Channing Tatum's Gambit next to him wearing his suit that we saw him in during Deadpool and Wolverine. Doesn't look exactly like Channing Tatum, but it is meant to be Channing Tatum's version of Gambit, and they rescued him to this same universe with those other X-Men characters. Below them, we got the new version of the Falcon from Captain America Brave New World right next to Bucky, also from that Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Then Cyclops, who we did see his costume, his comic book accurate costume from that X-Men teaser trailer. The only thing that they've changed about this from the original 90s comics is that he's not wearing the yellow trunks. Like, they basically just did the same costume without the yellow trunks. Next to him, obviously, Ant-Man in the back, but Mystique wearing her comic book accurate costume. The other changes here, too, is that they gave her pants. She's wearing pants. You have to imagine Kevin Feige going to Rebecca Romijn saying, hey, do you want to be in our Avengers Doomsday movie? Come back and play your character from the X-Men films? And she's probably like, oh yeah, okay, that's going to take a long time in the makeup chair. And he's like, no, wait, we're not going to make you be naked for the entire movie this time. You get to wear some actual clothes. There's some very NSFW behind the scenes from those classic X-Men movies with them applying all of her makeup. And yes, she was very naked in all those scenes. We get a better look at Namor in the suit that he's going to be wearing in the movie. We saw a version of him from the side during the Black Panther Fantastic Four teaser trailer, but you could kind of tell what he's wearing, like the pop collar. This is meant to be a version of his Time Runs Out suit from the comics.
The king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife.
Then in the row below them, we have Thor. We saw him in his teaser trailer with his new comic book suit. Seems like a slightly changed version of his darker Avengers Infinity War Avengers Doomsday suit without the actual sleeves. Right next to him, Sentry, back in his comic book suit from the end of the Thunderbolts movie in that post-credit scene. He hadn't been Sentry in a while during that post-credit scene, but obviously during the movie, he's going to go back into Sentry form. So maybe we'll also see the Void during the film too. It'd be weird for them to do Sentry, but not also do Void as well. Not to be confused with the Void from the TVA, which they also made jokes about during Wonder Man recently, even though Wonder Man wasn't technically meant to be super connected to a lot of the other things. It's kind of a standalone project. But the Void he talks about during that also raised all kinds of questions too, like the Void from the TVA or the Void from the Sentry and the Thunderbolts? Shuri in her new Black Panther suit that we also saw during that same teaser trailer recently. Then Ghost next to her, same suit from the end of the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Loki is also wearing his same suit from the end of Loki Season 2, so he hasn't changed that much. The horns are a little bit smaller though, because the whole pull at the end of Loki Season 2 is that he was finally wearing the real big, like the full-size bendy horns that he had referenced earlier during Thor Ragnarok. Right next to him is Shang-Chi wearing the same suit from the end of the Shang-Chi movie. I don't know if he's gotten any updates in his suit since then. Below them, Patrick Stewart's Professor X wearing the suit that we saw him in during the X-Men trailer. He also wore a version of this in the comics, but it was green in the comics. They did a version of it during X-Men 97. All they've done during the movie is just change it to X-Men Blue. We get a couple Fantastic Four characters, Sue Storm, Reed Richards, and Franklin Richards. Notice that they're wearing jackets on top of their Fantastic Four suits that we saw them in during the movie. So the actual suits themselves are the same. The new part is the jackets. We didn't see them wearing jackets during that movie. Franklin Richards also looks like he's gotten slightly older, but he's wearing overalls that we did not see him wearing at the end of the Fantastic Four movie post-credit scene next to Doctor Doom, because they kind of made it seem like Doctor Doom was going to be yoinking Franklin Richards at the end of that movie. Sam Wilson, Captain America, right behind him, wearing the same suit that we saw him in at the end of Brave New World. They also just referenced his character during the Wonder Man series, where the characters really loved the character, like really love Sam Wilson's Captain America. In Wonder Man was trying to throw some shade on him, like, isn't he just a regular guy that can throw a shield? I think the idea there is they were trying to show that Wonder Man was just trying to let on that he was actually more powerful than Sam Wilson's Captain America. Like, I actually have powers, even though at the time he was trying to keep them secret, so he couldn't actually tell other people, I'm actually way more powerful than this version of Captain America that you love so much. By the end of that series, though, it seems like he's gone public with his powers. Like, everybody's going to find out that he actually does have powers. So we will see what they do with him in the future. I don't know if he is supposed to be in Avengers Doomsday, though. We will see. I think originally, when it was still Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty with Jonathan Majors Kang and the Council of Kangs, Wonder Man was supposed to appear in that version of the movie, but it might have changed since then because they changed the plot for the movie quite a bit. Ian McKellen's Magneto in the suit that we see him in, or version that we see in that X-Men trailer from Avengers Doomsday recently. He's not actually wearing the entire suit, like he isn't wearing the cloak on top of it, but you can kind of see him wearing his red suit with his helmet nearby. Also meant to confirm that the helmet that he'll be wearing is more comic book accurate. I actually have a version of this helmet in real life. It's in the background of pretty much all the videos that I do where you see me on camera, like if in the background of the frame you can see it peeking out over my shoulder. Marvel actually already sells this. It's based on the X-Men 97 designs, like you could go out and buy Magneto's helmet right now. Then at the bottom below them, we have Yelena next to Johnny Storm. Also same deal with him, wearing the same suit but with a jacket on top of it from the end of the Fantastic Four movie. We will also see if there's any other surprises during this, like inside the actual pages. Will Steve Rogers appear during this? Will some of the other characters that we know are in the movie also appear in this? Maybe. But like I said, these are mostly meant to be tie-ins with like light Easter eggs and references setting up some of the characters without completely giving away the entire plot of the movie, because they always release these before the actual movie comes out. So of course they wouldn't want to spoil the entire movie in the prequel comic book. Just because there's so much new stuff here, if there's any Easter eggs or references that you spotted in all this that I didn't talk about during the video, just write them below in the comments and post all your reactions in the comments below too. The way that Marvel is slow rolling the introduction of all these Avengers Doomsday characters, I wouldn't be surprised if they've been saving Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom for the first official Avengers Doomsday trailer, and that's the first live action shots we'll see of his character and what he'll look like in the movie. This is just early days. We will probably get some kind of Super Bowl teaser trailer from either Avengers Doomsday or Spider-Man Brand New Day. Still waiting on the shiny HD official version of that Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. I've already done a version on the leaked version from a while ago. Click here for that, and click here for all my other Avengers Doomsday trailers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.